Alright folks, and welcome back to the Don's channel. I am the Don Father and this is hashtag AFL Chair Chat. I'm going to be reviewing today's game between the Essendon Football Club and the GWS Giants, Essendon Bombers and the Giants, round 15 2019 in the AFL ladder. Going into this, Essendon were sitting in 10th place and the Giants were sitting in 3rd. A win would see the Giants leapfrog Collingwood into 2nd, and Essendon I think would probably stay in 10th with the win. 3 goals came in the first quarter for Essendon and 1 for the Giants. One of the goals from Essendon came from the man Dylan Shiel and another one from Phil Davies, which is a rare goal for the GWS. He doesn't really score many. At the interval it was 28. Essendon really did start well. They looked good. I was quite surprised at how well they started. I predicted that the Giants would probably be quite convincing today, but couldn't really take the game by the scruff in the early stages of the encounter. So it was 28 going in at the interval, quarter time. So, second quarter, 33-34 this finish. That was a big push from the Giants, but a good bit of a fight back again from the Bombers. 4 goals in a row. I think it was Himmelberg, Cameron, Kelly and Daniels. A nice team goal for Kelly's one going forward. They played nice stuff leading up to it and Kelly finished it off easy peasy for him. And Laverde got one and McKernan, which was a great team goal, and the credit has to go to the man Sadie, I think they call him his nickname, but he played some really good stuff in the midfield area. He intercepted the ball, and handballed it onto another player, which then was kicked over, and McKernan picked it up inside the forward 50 and finished it off for a lovely goal, a lovely team goal, really, and most of that was down to the man so congratulations to him for that brilliant piece of play. As I said, at half time, it was 33-34, so very, very tight. The Giants put a push on. You thought, right, this is the Giants stepping up now. They're starting to wake up, and it's going to get difficult now for the Bombers. Third quarter it had goals, but it was very, very... It was a bit of an arm wrestle in the third quarter. There wasn't an awful lot of talking points, a lot of good stuff. There wasn't even really many big hits or fighting in this quarter, but Brown got 1 and Cameron got 2. Cameron is the leading goal scorer right now for the Coleman. I think he's a good 4 or 5 goals ahead of his closest rival, so he's actually really got his shooting boots on this season and he's doing really well. He got 2 in this quarter anyway, and at the interval, 3/4 time, 40-50 in favour of the Giants. And again, this was me starting to think, right, the Giants are going to wake up now and they're really going to get at the Bombers and take control, because they are a strong team. They have got individual players that can go and win you the game. Caniglio, Green's playing well. There's a few names there that always jump out when you think of the Giants, that you think, right, they are the main men. When the chips are down, they'll win you the game. Well, fourth quarter, boom, 6 goals scored by the Bombers. And I'll go through the scorers. But first of all, I'll give you the Giants scorers. They get 3, Finlayson get 2, and he's not really a main goal scoring threat, but he's got up there and he's kicked quite well, to be fair. And Green got 1 as well, Toby Green. He had a pretty good game for me. I thoroughly enjoyed him. So goal scorers for the Bombers. Langdon with 1, Laverde with 1, Hooker got 2. He was very, very good the final quarter. Parrish and McKernan, again McKernan getting on the score sheet. He was very good today, and it was 10 goals, 6 goals to 3 in that final quarter, and I never really put down, and I did do it in my last review, and I was thinking about doing all the disposals, marks, goals, etc., hitting you with stats, but I'm going to leave that to the statisticians. If you want to go and look at that, I'm sure you can look at that on any social media network or Google it, and they'll give you the stats. I'm just going to do my star players today by what I saw, the excitement I got when they picked up the ball, or the effort and the work rate they put in, just with the eye, not with stats. And I'm sure stats could paint a huge picture for you in terms of picking medals at the end of the year. But for me personally, I thoroughly enjoyed watching Conor McKenna today. I was going to say Conor McGregor. It's because I just watched an interview of him in McCarran and he's talking about being the new Conor. They don't talk about Conor McGregor anymore in Dublin. They talk about Conor McKenna. He's only having a laugh. That's not the case. Of course they talk about Conor McGregor, and he actually admitted that AFL, not a lot of people really talk to him back home about it. But anyway, Conor McKenna was probably one of my players that I thought really excited me today. When he picked up the ball, he had one thing on his mind, and that was to drive at the opposition. Runs, do solos with his bounce. I did notice that he tends to bounce the ball an awful lot more than a normal player born and bred in Australia. Last week, if you noticed, he actually kicked the ball back up into his hands, which you would have seen back home in his home sport. But all that being said, he really was exciting. He did create a goal with his driving runs coming forward, and he does make the opposition think. If they miss a tackle, he's opening things up for his own teammates, which is quite exciting to watch. And my man of the match today, and I don't know if anyone's going to give this man of the match, but it was Mumford, because the guy is I was going to say giant. He is a giant. He's a giant by name, giant by nature, giant by club, giant by nature. He's absolutely outstanding at the bounce. He seems to win everything. He's involved in all the big tackles, the hits, and he allows the good players around him to get forward and push up and create these opportunities. So you cannot overlook the work rate of this big fella. He's not long back from injury, but I feel that he is going to have a very important point to prove in this place in this ladder coming up at the end of the ladder, coming into the knockout stages. He's going to have a very important part to play. Sorry, I could nearly get this out. A very important part to play in how well the Giants play. However, the final score to this match was 77-71 to the Essendon Bombers. There wouldn't have been many predicted a Bombers win before this game, but they did. And I will say, but the final kick, the deciding kick that won it, they were both sitting at 71 each. The deciding kick should not have counted. It actually touched the finger of the boy as it came off McKernan's boot. It came off the finger, and you could see it in the slow motion, putting the finger back and went through. It never actually changed course, though, which was quite bizarre. Even the slightest of touches, you would think the ball would have a little bit of a change of flight path on its route to goal, but it didn't. It stayed true, it stayed straight, and it went straight through the goal. So that was probably why it was quite difficult to see. But I thought with having the video footage that you could go over, it would make these decisions perfect. But there seems to be a lot of mistakes getting made with this computer system, replay system that they have in the AFL. There's a lot of mistakes still being made, and I'm quite surprised, because it was one of the first times I've actually seen a visible finger being bent back. It should have went in at a draw, taking nothing away from the Bombers today, because they were actually very, very good to watch at times. It's just, if you're going to win, it needs to be fair and square, and it should have been a draw. So I'm sorry if anybody's upset about that, but that was not a goal. Anyway, good game of footy. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's game. It should be an interesting one. It's Geelong Cats, Adelaide Crows, first versus fifth in the ladder. Adelaide Crows cannot be ruled out of this one. They do play some lovely stuff. Geelong, of course, are off the back of a defeat at Port Adelaide, where they'd had their bye week, they'd missed out a game, and then they've came into Port Adelaide and they've been beaten. Geelong are quite renowned for losing these games, apparently, so I'm looking forward to that one anyway. Tomorrow morning here, tomorrow early evening for you guys in Australia, so stay tuned for a review on that one as well. I'm looking forward to it. Great footy game. I'd imagine loads of quality players that can do some magical stuff on the field of play tomorrow, so very, very exciting stuff. But anyway, this was Essendon Football Club versus the GWS Giants. Congratulations to Essendon for the win, 77-71 to them. You deserve to win, and Giants, commiserations. Not good. It's never good to lose a decision like that. However, I genuinely believe the Bombers deserved it over the piece. Thanks very much for tuning in to my review. It's greatly appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe and put the notifications bell on as well. And I'm going to put links to all my social media outlets in the description section below, where you can subscribe, you can join them, etc., and donate and all the rest of it. Thanks very much. I am the Don Father. Peace, everyone, and goodbye.